Ladies and gentlemen, hiss and foes, welcome to the Culture Casino.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Culture Casino. That's right, it's me. I just wanted to say good morning, and which I did. And I'm going to say, hey, we're about to talk about pop culture and some lighter fare today. So I have a couple of guests that I would like to introduce you to. And let's start first with one of my favorites from the Wes Moody podcast, Wes Moody. Hey, Wes, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good. It's a beautiful, well, somewhat overcast day here in Northern California, and I've got my coffee. I'm ready to go. Lighter fare.
Fantastic. Lighter fare. So, and then, of course, one of my other favorite people on YouTube who keeps a low profile and sometimes doesn't talk a whole lot. It is AFK Bard. Hey, AFK, how's it going?
Howdy. Thanks again for having me.
You bet. Thanks for being here. And I hope you're having lovely weather up there where you are in the northwestern part of the United States.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. Yesterday it was rainy and thunder, and then today it's sunny but super windy.
Right. Well, I will take the shifts in weather over the boredom and the monotony of what we get here in the desert Southwest, where it just gets hot and then windy and dust stormy and more hot. So I would take that in a heartbeat. So,
yeah,
guys,
me too.
So I'm very jealous of both of your weather. Let's just put it in those terms. So, all right. Well, let's talk about something light. We talked about this a little bit in the pre-show, and I want to get started right away. Well, first of all, let's say hello to the chat. So we've got Mirasphere's Origin. Hey there. We've got, Wes, of course. We got AFK, of course. And we have Runner Studios. Hey, you were really good yesterday on Ryan's stream, just so you know. Can't wait to pump your channel when you get that thing rolling, my man. So, all right. Well, let's fire right in. So this week we had a lot of events in pop culture that we would say were somewhat fan-friendly, right? Something that we could put our arms around and get excited about, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the first one we want to talk about is going to be what AT&T decided to do and give fans what they wanted with the Snyder Cut. So I'm pretty excited about the Snyder Cut. I think that, and I've mentioned this several times on other live streams and to both of you, that I think this is very much a win for the fans. And even if I weren't interested in seeing this, which I will see it, whether or not I might have paid for a ticket in theater to see it was another question. I probably would have, but I think this is a big win, and I think it's great, and I think it's great for a lot of reasons. Wes, what do you think?
I think it's amazing. I think it is a win for the fans, and I think it's a win also if you want to, not just for the fans, but one's artistic vision. As Snyder gets a chance to continue on, we get to see how his vision would fit in with the prior movies that he had headed, and I'm excited. I'm interested to see how it would have been different. And I think I've mentioned in previous webcasts we've done that I am a proud owner of the Donner cut of Superman 2, which I rewatched on Thursday or Friday, and so you could see from the Donner cut how that fit together with the original Superman. And it's a much better film, and the two films together are much better. So I'd be interested to see what Snyder's vision is. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the Snyderverse, but I will be watching it for curiosity, if nothing else.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are going to fall right where you are. I think anybody who's truly on the side of the customer. Again, fans are customers, right? So whoever's in favor of being on the side of the customer, I think they're going to fall where you fall. AFK?
I'm not like I'm not a DC fan per se. Like I don't, because it's like I haven't seen all of their movies, and
Right.
I'm not like super crazy about that stuff. And I did see Batman versus Superman though. Uh, I don't know why, but I did. It just happened. And I got like I I had heard afterwards like the whole controversy about like all how it was not his vision and how Joss went in and changed everything. I mean, visually, even looking back after I'd seen it, uh, I could totally see the difference, like how everything basically had its color boosted and this light boosted it. And then it kind of took on a distracting feeling because I started wondering what it would have looked like if he hadn't boosted all the brightness levels and contrast and et cetera, et cetera. And then, all of these reshoots that he had apparently gone back and changed. And I feel like my opinion about it became stronger when we learned about similar stuff going on with the last Star Wars movie and how they had gone back and had changed a bunch of stuff and filmed new scenes. Well, rumor. I don't think it was ever proved, but it was very strongly suggested that that happened. And tonally, when you're watching the movie, it does feel very choppy, or at least that's my opinion. But when that happened, I kind of took on this stronger feeling about like I want to see the original vision of these films. Like I don't like the idea that they're finished basically, and then someone's like, nah, you know what? Let's just hack it up or change it or add this stuff. And so it's like I want to support the artists now, and I feel like we have a stronger voice, and it's kind of scary to a lot of people, but I feel like it's really important, and it's existed before. And I think that that's the difference. It's like we have the voice so we can let people know that we want these different cuts, but like movies have had cuts for like years. Like someone decides like 15 years after the fact that they're going to put together a director's cut, and because whatever, and they know that fans want it, so they do it, and they know that fans will eat it up. So the difference is that you could do it like pronto now. You can like release a movie and say, well, hey, we know that these fans are aware, that there's this other cut that we were going to release that, we don't, because we know that movies do that. Everybody does that. So I don't know. I'm rambling at this point, but I
No, you're not.
personally
You're
am
good.
really excited for it.
Yeah, I am too. And you're making great points, and you're 100% right. I mean, I couldn't have said it any more eloquently. You're right. There's an artistic vision that we didn't get to see, and we always see a variety of different cuts of films. If you're fortunate enough to have the Suicide Squad director's cut, or the extended cut, or whatever they ended up calling that, that was far better than the actual original theatrical cut. So if you get a chance to see that, I think you will be surprised. So, yeah, have either of you seen the extended cut of the Suicide Squad?
I have not.
I don't know because I watched it on demand. So it was whatever version they had on there at some point.
Okay, yeah, because it was possible, and they did have the extended cut on demand as well, so you could have seen it that way. But it was Wes, did you see the extended cut of Suicide Squad?
I haven't seen the extended cut yet. No. Is it?
I know. The first movie, it was a turnoff, so I can understand that.
I didn't think I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of people thought it was. I mean, it did feel. It felt uneven to me, very uneven. There were moments that I thought were moments of brilliance, and then there were moments that it's like, huh? It was weird. It had a weird, like, Escape from New York vibe in certain places. I'm kind of glad they cut out Jared Leto. I just wish they had completely cut out Jared Leto.
Here's the thing. His Joker Juggalo Joker was a little tough to take. In a movie about him, where we get an origin story around that version of the Joker, maybe we'd have all felt a little bit better about what was going on in Suicide Squad. So I think you're 100% right. Yeah, I think he was tough to take. If they could have, I don't know. That was just it's a weird way to present a character.
Yeah, and it also, you know, it also is a really good argument against method acting, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. Some
was doing-
people,
He was
Go
doing
ahead.
some weird. Well, that's true because Crispin Glover, I guess, was method acting in Back to the Future, and he was really good.
oh yeah.
Although-
I gotta say, I like him.
Jared Leto or Crispin Glover?
Jared Leto. Jared
Really?
Leto. I'm gonna be the oddball. Yeah.
No, that's
So
fine.
let me defend myself real quick.
Sure.
It's basically watching the Suicide movie. It was kind of like an alternate universe or just like a comic book take of like how it happens. We get that all the time, you know, like we get retells of like origins and about things all the time in comics. But since I previously watched like the Batman Beyond series way back in the day, they had a similar, like there was a different Joker. It was in the future, and his personality was very off-putting. But I kind of like accepted the fact that like, oh, it's a different Joker, and I kind of like the idea because it gives you a completely different dynamic. And so like in this the Suicide Squad, with the craziness of this Harley Quinn, like Harley wasn't this insane. I don't remember her being in the animated series. Like she had a level of competence, a level of intelligence. And so it's like, it's nice seeing her matched and crazy, at least with the Joker. And it kind of explains why she is the way she is in this versus different iterations of her before. And so, like, I don't hate on him for being completely different because, like, technically we get that in every Joker. And it's just kind of like an acquired taste, I guess, because it's like, it's not what people expected and definitely not what a lot of them probably wanted in. But to be fair, the movie is not that serious. It's like, it's not a Batman movie. So, like, why do we really need a serious Joker in there? Would it really fit in the first place? So, anyways, that's basically me defending Jared.
You actually make some great points, and I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And again, you're right. Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, she does make some good points, and I was kind of thinking about it, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's personal taste, maybe it's just not what my, you know, after Heath Ledger did his Joker, it's just so hard to follow up, and I understand that maybe they thought, you know, that they couldn't go with a similar Joker because of the obvious comparisons to Ledger's wonderful performance.
It's trying to follow up a swan song situation where it's like you do the final ultimate Joker where like you really, it's the embodiment basically, and then you decide, yeah, let's keep going, and then you have to somehow make it good. But like after you get that performance, it's like, how do I enjoy these new ones without comparing? It's like impossible at that point. And I totally do agree that as far as comparing Heath Ledger's and Jared Leto's, that's like water and oil.
Yeah, no, it is. That's 100% right, because Heath made it so difficult for anybody else to follow that role. That is another example of method acting, but that's an example of method acting the right way. So
well,
like Glover
I don't know if it was the right way, because he did end up, you know, methoding himself right into the grave, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he wasn't already doing that before he methoded it. Because, you know, after A Knight's Tale, I think Hollywood got him. That's what I think happened to his career. I think, you know how that is. You go to Hollywood, you get involved in the lifestyle, you know, the people walking around behind you and the booger sugar and everything else, and there you go.
Yep. Booger sugar.
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, hey, that I cannot claim that. That is all Gary at Nerdrotic, man. That dude's brilliant. But he's 100% right. That's the best thing. That's the best terminology to use for that.
Yeah.
But
Midnight marching powder.
There you go. Yeah. It works, right? It works. All right. Let me acknowledge some other folks that showed up while we were talking about that. We have Lorena Creel, one of my favorite Creel queens, and in the fandom. And boy, she came out with her channel with a bang. Have you guys seen her videos? And she is super busy. She's everywhere in live streams. I mean, her schedule is more complicated than my work schedule. So she's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. She fired up. I think she had 200 subscribers in like 10 minutes. I mean, it's amazing. So, but then we have Happy Dinosaur
You go, girl.
8000. That's right. We have Happy Dinosaur 8000. Happy day to you, Happy Dinosaur. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Happy Dinosaur went back to work and has been having happy days every day. So it's so great. If you need a pick me up, send a shoot out a tweet and make sure you tag at Happy Dinosaur, and Happy Dinosaur will make sure you have a happy day.
Absolutely. I think Happy Dinosaur was in the Let's Play I was doing before I got here.
Absolutely. Yeah. A very big supporter of our community, and Runner and everybody else I mentioned before. I'm glad you guys are still here. It's great. It's good
I got to chat with Happy Dinosaur. I heard his voice yesterday. Yep.
All right. Whose stream were you on?
He is hilarious, by the way. Like, we were in tears. I was over on what is it? Orange Hat Reviews?
Orange Hat?
No, cool. Atlantean. That was it. Atlantean. Right. I'm on everybody's streams. I get confused. But no, it was awesome. He came and visited and chatted up, and it was great. So, to you, Happy Dinosaur. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I Happy seems to be everywhere, I think. Wes, I think we see him pretty much everywhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I feel like
kind of like Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy is definitely everywhere. Although Tommy's not here today. Where are you, Tommy?
His internet is negative internet. I think we've had that conversation before.
Yeah.
He's providing internet. He's not getting internet. It's awful.
Yeah, boy. See, that's the one thing that keeps me from moving back out into the country right away. What the heck is going on?
Oh no, that's AFK's Bard's little one, and she's constantly keeping that little dog down and muting his free speech regularly.
Oh man,
I'm sure that'll happen a few times. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, no, I love it. I'm glad to see some of these new channels starting to get a launching pad. In fact, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about when we get to the end of the stream is all the channels that we see that are coming up as part of the fourth wave and everything else. And I really want to talk about who the channels that are up and coming and growing and everything else. I'm excited about how big this community is getting. Really am. So.
Me too.
Yeah, totally. I'd say go check out the Atlantean. He's really trying to work on getting his channel built up, and he does really fun streams every Saturday.
Yeah, I want you guys. I want both of you. You're both moderators. I want you to both, put your own channels in the chat, please. Put your Twitter in the chat. Put other channels that you appreciate in the chat. Let's try to get some more traction for some of these wonderful creators, because boy, do we have a wonderful group. And the fandom collective is really, really good about helping us all find and connect with each other. So I want to shout out to them too. Because and by the way, if you haven't already voted for your fandom menace card, you should be voting for Wes Moody and his podcast.
Oh, I thank you for the shout out.
After that,
you betcha. Oh yeah, Mirrorsphere is growing too. That's right. We need to talk about Mirrorsphere's origin. We'll do that in a couple minutes. I promise. All right, so let's move right along. Now, there have been rumors that we are going to end up again with this guy. Well, this guy. We might end up with Batfleck because of what AT&T is doing. Now, of course, he may have to come back to shoot some scenes to fill out Snyder's vision, but I believe it's possible, and other people would have disagreed with me, and that's cool, because we can disagree in the Fandom Menace. It's an opinion. It's a customer-based organization. But I believe that AT&T has an opportunity here to say, hey, Ben, we're gonna get behind you and let you make your movie, and as long as you come back and you are the Batman. And I honestly believe that they'll do that. And I think that if they continue to make the Patman version of Batman, I think that will be the one-off, kind of like the Joker was that we just got with Joaquin. I know they're making a second movie, but I can't see BatPat being something that the fans overall are going to accept. What do you think, Wes?
Batfleck coming back?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think he was the best Batman, but I mean, he was a competent Batman. He was a fine Batman. He was 7 out of 10 Batman for me. I think be interesting to see, with a different writing, different vision, how he would fit in with that. So yeah, we'll see.
Now,
We'll see what happens.
Now, if I'm not wrong, and since Ryan's here, I can say these things and he'll correct me because he's really good at that. But I think that his Batman would be something that he would contribute writing to as well as directing. So I think that we would get a more fleshed out, realistic character because let's admit it, Affleck is a hell of a writer, and a pretty good director.
Yeah, he is a pretty good director, actually.
Yeah. What do you think, AFK? Your turn.
Well, I don't know. I know everybody has a favorite Batman and everything. My point of view kind of comes from I didn't read the comics. I watched all of the movies and I've seen all the animated cartoons and movies and stuff because that was my kind of version of all the comic characters for me growing up. And having seen all the different Batmans, I've each one kind of had a different trait that I feel was part of Batman. But I feel as far as the Ben Affleck, he feels the most hardcore legit version of him. He reminds me a lot of the animated series Batman, but maybe he had to stand in line one too many times, so he got really, really agitated at most stuff. So I really like him. He feels like he's physically in that role. He's obviously very toned and worked out and stuff, and he clearly has a different perspective for it than the other ones because you're right, he works behind the camera, he directs, he understands, he has that kind of perspective for his scenes and how he needs to present himself. And I would love to have him come back because he really was the one of the good aspects of the DC movies, in my opinion. And I was very disappointed to hear he was going, especially with Henry Cavill, because I really liked him as Superman too. And I mean, sure, tonally, I mean, I was not a big fan of the Superman movies, but I loved him as Superman himself. And so, yeah, Ben Affleck, if they bring him back and they get Henry Cavill, I think it's going to be super, super epic. And I would watch them. And I'm not that hardcore DC fan.
That Martha moment, it makes it hard for me to take his Batman seriously when I think of the Martha moment.
Well, just consider
Martha,
that was a very bad line. Some movies just have those lines. Cutthroat Island, my favorite guilty pleasure movie, has one of the best worst lines at the end of the movie where she shoots a guy out a wall and she's like, "Bad dog," and it's just you ruined that scene. But other than that,
yeah, I don't know. I think Cavill can be a great Superman with the right writing. And this is the problem we've been running into in Hollywood. The writers are killing it. The producers are killing it. I mean, not in a good way. This is not, hey, I'm killing it. No, this is, you're literally killing these IPs. So, and here's, thank you, Ryan, for getting the comment in. Ben's Batman film HBO show would have been a story that he wrote, Batman versus Deathstroke. Yeah. And I think that would be great, to be honest with you. And I still have hope that this could happen. And I know that Ryan maybe is tapped out on this. I know Lethal Lightning has tapped out on this idea actually happening. But I think if you're going to service the fans, and if the fans come through for you, AT&T, maybe continue to understand that your customers want to see good stuff again. And maybe you could make that. That'd be good. But you got to get rid of JJ. You really got to get rid of JJ. God.
Oh boy! Hopefully there's a way they can. Hopefully that contract isn't. They're probably just gonna have to pay him not to make anything if they do.
Yeah, and I highlight. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, go for it. Oh, I was gonna say I never honestly I didn't see the bad part of JJ's stuff for a while, because I was looking at it in little pieces, and it was kind of funny because I found myself for a moment like trying to defend him for a while ago. It was a while ago. Because like a lot of people were hating on him for like ruining Star Trek and stuff, and I guess I was very forgiving for Star Trek because he established it was an alternate universe versus like all this new Trek crap on TV that's like, this is, real Trek. Because it's like the second JJ did that, I was like, I don't care if he, has completely different personalities for everybody because it's not our Trek anymore. So I was like, I was forgiving for that stuff. Although the second movie was really crap, let's just be honest. But I don't know. Then I started looking at his TV shows and how they all had really bizarre crap going on that he never explained. And then they had these endings that were just like, what? And I realized that was the difference because like when he works for like people, he generally comes up with an ending because he has to. But like when it's his own stuff, he has no idea how to end anything. And so he needs to leave because the thing about stories is that you kind of have to understand where they're going. And if you don't, they're going to just go everywhere and they're going to be crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is, go ahead. Go.
Oh, okay. I just want to make a funny quip because I just want to say Ryan loves the Martha moment. I love it probably for a different reason. I think the Martha moment, it should inspire. Okay, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer. So instead, we should have a version of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson fighting, and then like Thomas Jefferson says Martha.
Oh,
and because they were both married to Marthas,
Yes. You get $1 less.
Yeah, there should be that should be like a superhero. Yeah, something like that. Something and have it involve vampires and Martha.
That was simultaneously hilarious and also incredibly nerdy of you to know.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Thank you. My credibility is secure.
All right. Well, I want to answer this question. Okay, worst Batman, Clooney or Val? Okay, go.
Clooney, without a doubt, Clooney.
I had to stop and think what Val Kilmer was, which one his was. That's the one with Catwoman, right?
No. That was the second one.
Wait,
he was in
he's
Batman
the one with
Forever.
With Robin, right?
The first one with Robin, yeah. The one with Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face, and I liked his Batman actually. Kind of sucks about the whole throat cancer thing.
Yeah,
he sounds like the Godfather now. Have you heard him talk?
Oh no! Well, honestly, I didn't realize I didn't know he had throat cancer. I'm not really into the celebrity stuff.
Sorry to.
They're all kind of crazy.
Down then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I personally like Val Kilmer. He's awesome. So I'm prejudiced. Anything he's in is immediately elevated slightly, and so yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people I'm agreeing with. Well, Clooney's was horrific in my opinion. He was not a good Batman. I think that's a prevailing opinion. Although Ryan may disagree, but I believe that I believe that was absolutely awful. Yeah. So yeah, Clooney. I know.
The Bat card.
The Bat. Oh my God, the Bat card.
It's horrible.
The puns, everybody's puns were bad, but geez.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. And here you go. Wait, I'm clicking on the wrong window, guys. I'm boomering this up hard. Okay. This is a valid statement. If you've seen the picture of the stuntman in the from the new Batman movie, he fills out the suit. He looks legit Batman. I don't know how you're going to get away with how different that's going to look. I mean, we've all struggled with some of the stuff that was in the last movie where Affleck was different sizes, in the same like scene.
Those reshoots. Oh yeah, man. He really had packed on the pounds, and they tried to disguise it by having him wear a vest, and you could see his belly hanging out.
Yeah. He needed like what do they call those Spanx? He needed in a girdle, and he needed some help there.
Yeah, the man girdle. Hey man, you get wealthy, you get rich, you do a lot of DoorDash and you don't exercise a lot. It happens.
Yeah.
Nachos
and
get you every time.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. If you're lifting like a beast, and then you like decide, for 6 weeks not to lift like a beast, yeah, that's gonna happen. I know. What do you call this thing? The thing that we're dealing with, this pandemic, this worldwide health crisis we're dealing
Yeah,
with.
the pink elephant. Yeah.
Yeah, it turned me from decently shaped to a more of a round shape. So I'm really unhappy. But
yeah, I'm working on it too. I've packed on the pounds myself. I'm really trying hard. I'm sticking to the keto so far, but we'll see.
Good. Keto works great. It works great in conjunction with what you do, which is your hiking and all that other stuff. Yeah, that is right in the wheelhouse. Cavill is a great actor, 100%, absolutely. And the Man of Steel writing was not great, But again, there are elements of that film that are all right. That's the problem. Snyder has these moments that are really, really great in these films, and then the writing can be complete trash. I think it could be.
Yeah, Man of Steel definitely did have. Okay, the real breaking moment for Man of Steel for me was when he let Kevin Costner or Pa Kettle or whatever die.
Pa Kettle.
Pa, I drew a blank there. Pa, shit.
It works. It works.
Stream brain. Yeah, Pa Kent. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I think he was. He was kind of miscast a little bit for that too.
Yeah. And Costner.
Kevin Costner. There you go. Pa Kettle, Kevin Costner, whatever.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, like I said, I think Cavill, it represents the character very well physically. I mean, the casting was brilliant, but the writing was just, not good. Did you like Man of Steel, Bard? AFK Bard?
I gotta be honest, I am not the biggest Superman fan. I've seen him in all the Batman related stuff, but he's like been that one guy I've never been able to connect with. So I didn't watch those. But from my I watched the Batman versus Superman, and then unfortunately the Justice League. And from what I saw, he's chill.
Oh,
I mean, I don't like the drab stuff, but I do like his the way he carries himself is so Superman. I mean, I've seen a lot of people be Superman, and there's different elegance that people bring to the role, but his has more of a strong elegance versus Christopher Reeves, who's just kind of chiseled, kind of in a nerdy way, and the guy from Lois and Clark the Adventures, that guy, I legitimately couldn't take him seriously. He looks too happy all the time. So I feel like Cavill, he's got the charisma and the just the charisma that the other ones just didn't have, and he is way more personable than any of the animated Supermans in any of the cartoons in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
And
No. I'm listening to sirens in the background. I hope everybody's safe. So.
Sorry about that.
No. I won't.
I'm so used to it. I tune it out, and so I should probably mute it. But I live
it's fine.
right next to where they park a lot of cop cars, and so they take off for real fast sometimes.
Yeah. No. I just want to make sure everybody's safe. We're dealing with some stuff we're trying to ignore right now.
Yeah, I live near a hospital, so I hear it a lot too. Oh, there's one other thing I didn't like about Batman, or I'm sorry, Man of Steel, is that at the end when he drops all the satellites, quit spying on me, and he threatens, the governments of the world. That seemed really out of character for Superman. Really.
Yeah. In fact, if
he's younger, he's very reactionary at that point. I think. I mean, I know it was a very un-Superman thing to do, but it was also kind of a very human thing for him to do after everything that he was doing too. It's it was irresponsible, but at the same time he's back the F off, I'm dealing with crap. No,
that's a great way to say that. But honestly, what Ryan says right down below us, Batman has lost his way, lost his humanity through this movie. And he's about to actually commit murder for the first time, and it takes an alien to remind him of how he lost his humanity.
Aw, I know. I love
Martha!
that. That's like the best. It honestly, I wish I could like write that on something and just keep it. So like when
Yeah.
people are like make fun of that scene, that I mean, yes, the line was horrible. Like honestly, I could have like written it even slightly better. You don't just say Martha. Why did you say that name? Just be like, just save my mother. Just please. And then,
The-
you know, as he keeps beating him, be like, please save Martha. And then he'd be like, whoa, whoa, wait. Your mom's name is Martha. You know, like he doesn't have that.
the execution is what I have an issue with more
It
than
was
anything.
horrible.
The theater I was in, and I was one of them, literally burst out laughing at that scene.
Yeah, it was
Ugh.
kind of
We're
like Dora the Explorer. Like, what? Swiper is here? Swiper, no swiping. Good times.
But I will tell you guys, and you feel free to disagree with me, but I still think Chris CR was the best Superman ever, and I don't know that we'll ever replace him, but I think this guy was probably the best chance.
Yep.
Yeah, he is modern day Christopher Reeves. Yeah, he's just got that elegance. Like, and I gotta pimp it. If you haven't seen it, I watch it all the time. It's the Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie. I not enough people gave that movie love, but
No,
I
they
really
didn't.
loved it. It's got the Fassbender in it and Cavill, and he is like the suavest agent ever. I love it.
Yeah, let's say this. And this is going to be a take nobody's going to agree with. I liked the Assassin's Creed movie, and not just because I'm a huge video game fan. And Fassbender was really good in that. So there are people that are going to disagree with that, and that's okay. Because guess what? Like what you like, it'll be fine.
I thought Michael Fassbender would have been an amazing Batman.
Yeah, no, possibly, sure.
I
can
never
see
actually thought of him in that position before, but I could see it. He's got the soulful eyes, you know. He's a guy that looks like he could beat the crap out of you, but at the same time, like cry a river.
Yeah, he's got the chin too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really showed his chops. I loved him in the first Class movie. I think that was the first new X-Men that they had done, right? Or
Yeah, for
I'm not
X-Men
sure.
First Class.
Yeah, he was really good. Like, there's just this scene where he like breaks down with the guy, you know, with Xavier, and he's just like pouring his soul out, and it's just like, dude, this guy he could play almost so many different roles. He's so like talented.
Yeah.
He was
yeah,
really
I
good.
think
He was my favorite
ahead.
part of Prometheus too.
I think he's under. I think, yeah. Well, that's saying a lot because that movie was not satisfying to a lot of people.
I liked it. I mean, I liked certain scenes in it that I thought were good. I thought the machine aborting the alien was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's really
Yeah.
kind of weird, but okay, it's also kind
Yeah.
of cool.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was scary as F. And I don't get scared in a lot of movies anymore because they're all like predictable. But that scene where she's like stuck in that machine, I was like freaking out.
Yep, hit all the right notes. I think if they had not put the Prometheus movies in the Alien universe, I probably would have enjoyed it a lot.
Yes. Like, seriously, if you didn't say it was aliens, I would have enjoyed those movies up the wazoo because I wouldn't be comparing them to anything. I would be watching them as just what they were. And I could even say they're campy. Like, oh my God, they're fun. But the fact that they had to label it and try to like drive it into the alien universe and it just ruined the universe, in my opinion, anyways, it's just like way to basically sink two ships at the same time.
Yep, yeah. That part of the original Alien was having when they first go down to the planet and they visit and they see the dead, the other aliens, the big people. That mystery
Yeah.
would have been best left as a mystery. We didn't need to know anything
Yep.
more. Just like, hey, there are these more powerful extraterrestrials out hopping the galaxy, and something took them out. What took them out? Oh, and they
Yeah.
should have just left that a mystery.
It'd be like coming up with the backstory to Jaws. You don't need it. It's just a crazy shark that comes out of nowhere and it eats people. But then, like down the line, they're like, let's make 2 movies about Jaws' origin, and then you learn all this crap about it. And then at that point, you're like, I don't care. He's not scary anymore. It's just like you take the beast out of it because there is that like mysteries are scary, and the second you start explaining them, the explanation isn't scary. You know, like I don't know. I totally get that.
Oh god, a Jaws origin story. What would that be? A shark gets lost and goes on like, a run with the salmon, gets stuck in a freshwater creek somewhere, and kids are pelting it with a rock, and then it swims back out to sea and has a hate for humanity.
Don't bully sharks. That's the story. Well, allegories all over the place for Jaws. Good job. Now you gave them an idea.
Yeah, the kids find a baby shark and they start putting lipstick on it, and it has a gender dysphoria.
It changes the whole premise of all the other movies because suddenly Jaws is the good guy, and every movie he's just getting the crap beaten out of him by people who don't understand him.
I actually kind of want to see this movie now. But we're doing a better job than they would.
Oh man,
I know, we have the best movies. Let's sell them to sci-fi, and they'll change the titles of it. It'll be like Shark versus Kids or something stupid, and then it'll be epic.
Well, no. So anyway, I'm going to move along from helping Hollywood make more crap. So Parrot Head makes a good point. The best chin belongs to Bruce Campbell. Yeah. Although he got a little round at the beginning of the spy television program that I enjoyed, Burn Notice, but then he slimmed back down for I love that show. And there are other people who, and although he's not saying he's a fan of the movie, other people are. But Assassin's Creed was a pretty good movie. You need to see the World of Warcraft movie. You should see at least once, and then recognize that wasn't a very good way to represent that world.
Mm-hmm. But I would say it's the same label problem. If you took the World of Warcraft label off of it and just like made it its own fantasy movie, I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah, yeah, because you and I both played a lot of WoW. I know you played a lot of WoW. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I was on one of the first original 6 WoW servers in the United States. Well, anywhere in the world actually at that point in time. So yeah, I was there for the day it launched. So
I stayed away from World of Warcraft because I had a buddy that got like addicted to it and ended up losing his job and getting divorced and all that stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's really hard. I need to stay away from because I love video games. I'll fire up. When I got Skyrim, I pretty much didn't see me for 2 weeks.
Yeah, Happy Dinosaur is always on these adventures of trying to breed his consoles together so that he can have these Frankensteinian things that he can play all these warped games on. So
if it had Genesis graphics and Super Nintendo sound, it might be a decent console. Because the Genesis did have some really adult games with lots of violence and blood. So yeah.
Okay,
I was going to say, isn't that just like an emulator? Those play everything, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can get emulators that'll play all those games. I think Wes uses one for his gaming streams, which are awesome. Okay.
Kidding. No, I use a Nintendo.
Oh yeah, clearly it's a Nintendo. Yeah. So. Yeah. No, and I think another monster is correct. I think that Finding Nemo was the origin of Jaws. So I don't think we need another origin story.
Ours can be an Elseworld story. Yeah,
there you go.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, Burn Notice was so great. I love that so much. Oh,
I honestly, I would watch that religiously, and I would record it on the DVR back when you could keep it forever. And I, at some point, I managed to get 2 seasons worth of Burn Notice just saved on my DVR so that I could watch it over the summer. And then the next season I'd have to delete the oldest one. But those were fun times. Like, honestly, if you like spies and adventure, he like narrates what he's doing and it's really fun. It's like James Bond if he were to be like, you'd be inside his mind. But like not like super slutty. Sorry. But yeah.
What's wrong with super slutty?
I wasn't sure if I could say the word here.
No, we're all right. I mean, I don't curse that, and that's not a curse word. That's a descriptor. That's an adjective. I would.
Okay, I didn't want to like offend people and stuff.
It might also be considered a verb or adverb, but for now we're just going to call it an adjective.
Well, I think even James Bond isn't super slutty anymore, is he? And now James Bond is going to be a Jane Bond and.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, please. I'm going to tap out on that movie so fast.
He's going to be an SIMP. I don't think we
Yeah,
can say the word in here anymore.
Please don't say that. Please don't say that. No,
Yeah.
no, actually, I don't care if you say it, but I don't know if that gets you kicked or anymore. But anyway, Snowdub is a very lucky person. I've had the honor of meeting Bruce Campbell, and he's exactly how you think he is, funny as hell.
You're so
Yeah.
lucky. I was
Yeah.
so obsessed with him as a kid. Like, I watched everything he was in, all the crap sci-fi stuff he did. I mean, that guy is the bomb. I remember reading his, like, If Chins Could Kill book. And I love hearing about, like, how he did his old, like, McHale's Navy things. Oh, he's the best.
Oh, dude, and
he did.
Go ahead.
He did like a Western series that was on Fox that got canceled, didn't he? Like Briscoe County Jr.
Briscoe County Jr. Oh my God, I love that show so bad.
Should not have been canceled.
Yeah. Well,
no,
look at
not at
how
all.
Ash versus Evil Dead. Look at they talk about having your career late in life. You know what I mean? So, with Bruce Campbell, he, and it's unfair because he was so great. I mean, Evil Dead and the like. I mean, such a great dude. Yeah, I played WoW forever. I got a little bit into Final Fantasy 14, but it's okay.
Oh, I
Genesis
always wanted to, but I had no friends who played it. I still want to. Do you want to be my friend?
Sure, I'll be your friend, and I'll give it another go. I'm already your friend. Eivor. Yeah, I'll give it another go. I've got it. Why not play it, right? So
Nice.
yeah, and I knew what you meant, Latino slant. You betcha. I love that show. Yeah, what do you call that? Autocorrect is a beast on YouTube. It really fouls you up good. So,
Yeah, it can be kind of embarrassing sometimes.
yeah, the story keeps developing in that game, so that's true. So I get it. Yeah, I really do. And Bruce Campbell's
I gotta
great.
say, my only tripe with Burn Notice, and it's the stupidest thing because these like little details will stick with me forever, is that Fiona had an accent in the first episode, and then they just told her to hide it for the rest of the series, which was annoying because the actress has that accent. And you could literally pick it out, like, in certain sentences and things. And I'm just like, why didn't you just let her have the accent? You established that she's Irish, like, in the first episode. But it just bugs me. But other than that, I love the show.
She was a model. She was on the verge of the supermodel career when she was acting in she made it into a role with opposite Michael J. Fox. Wes, have we talked about this movie before?
I think we have. Yeah, it's the one.
Yeah, where Michael J. Fox is a concierge, and he and this girl fall in love, even though she's involved with another man, a fiance of another man who's incredibly wealthy, who wants to steal his Michael J. Fox's character's hotel idea. So, and I have the movie, and I still can't find it. It's fantastic, but she was in that movie. If you look at her in that picture. Other than being slightly more developed, she looks very similar. I think we looked at that picture, Wes, before. I'm pretty sure we did, and she looks.
I mean, the body and everything, yeah, really.
And we're talking 30 years later. It's like she has like negative aging, or at least she found like, the ability to not age. It's amazing. She's really, really hot, and I forget her name, but she's. Ooh, thank you very much. So.
The actress who played Fiona was in Disney's Three Musketeers movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
and
we get to see her take a milk bath. Oh, sorry, a milk bath.
She is smoking hot. You can't deny. She really, really is. Wow. Okay. I'm losing the chat, guys. They're busy in there. Yeah.
I would like to see a Final Fantasy 3 remake. They did the Final Fantasy 7 remake. I'd like to see, the American version of Final Fantasy 3, which I guess is Final Fantasy 6 in Japan. On the Super Nintendo, the Super Nintendo one. If they remake that one was an amazing game. I love the story in that.
Yeah. I love watching your gaming streams. Because I get to play, instead of playing the games and being frustrated, especially by that one level you just finished where it's dark in there. That is the worst level ever in a Zelda game. I'm like, I hate that so much.
Why did they put that in there? It was terrible.
I have no idea. It was bad. Notice how they didn't do that again.
They did not. Thank God for
Which
that.
Zelda?
A Link to the Past. I think
Oh shoot, I love that game.
I think I've got about 16 hours of it streaming
You
on there.
do.
If you want to go to the Let's Play,
It's totally worth going back and watching that stream. Wes is entertaining as he's getting his butt kicked in the dark. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that
Oh, man, that was
lantern thing,
awful.
it was just the worst. Like you run out of oil and you're like, crap.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and when you talk about games like WoW or Final Fantasy 14, you are going to hit burnout mode. And that's why it's really important for game creators when they're having an MMORPG to keep developing some content here and there, because otherwise you get bored or the game turns into more of a grind than it really needs to be. So in fact, I'd like to lead into some more video game talk if you guys are up for it.
Heck
So,
yeah, always up for
okay.
it.
All right. So last night, our buddy the Atlantean, whose channel's just getting underway, has started talking about how Zelda compares to Assassin's Creed, and I wanted to follow along with that thought process, but I just felt like Assassin's Creed had a lot more depth, a lot faster, and the number of games compared to the number of games that they were able to put together, Ubisoft was able to put together, versus the number of games that Nintendo developed, that seemed to be really close. I mean, Ubisoft made a lot of games in a very short period of time, whereas Nintendo took a very long time developing their Zelda games. And I guess the argument, actually, you know what, AFK Bard, you can probably describe the argument last night better than I can.
Between the two?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I know they came up in conversation describing the fact that they both. I mean, each game is separate, but they're part of a series. Like you could tell, there's like a through line, but I guess one of the questions would be like, which Zelda and that, which one does it better? I guess maybe is that part of the question at all?
Yeah,
we talked about a lot of stuff last night.
yeah. I guess it was a very dense stream, but honestly, I mean, the idea that the games are exactly directly comparable was what I was struggling with, because I don't think they were. And I agree with you, Mirror Spheres Origin Ocarina of Time was one of the best Zelda games. But it's one of those things where I can see where you could have that superficial comparison of the games, but the mechanics of Assassin's Creed have evolved every single step of the way, every game. The interactions that you have, the storyline. If you remember early on in Zelda, everything, and if you watch Wes's stream, you'll be entertained by this because he narrates what's on the screen that's in text. Whereas in Assassin's Creed, while you can have subtitles, the game, there's actual dialogue. There are cutscenes. The interactions that you have with characters. There's a vocal acting and physical acting to it, and those storylines have gone on, and over time, unlike the Zelda games, which have a consistent theme of rescuing a princess, the Triforce, the sword, the shield, the bow and arrow. Assassin's Creed's always using the new tech that's appropriate for the time period, and so whereas going through time in the Assassin's Creed games, you are matched with what could be done back then. The Zelda games are always the same tech, even though different times are being represented there. So, and if you think I'm wrong, go ahead and say, or if you agree with me, that's fine too. But that's the first difference. The second difference is there's a lot, even though there is some fetch quest involved in Assassin's Creed, it's not nearly as it's not nearly as prevalent as it is in the Nintendo game Zelda. So, anybody else have a thought on any of that?
I think at the end of the day, I mean, like every Zelda is, it's got its own thing and a slightly different story, but there's always like an expectation as to like, basically like, you're going to a restaurant, you're gonna get a meal. It's like from these certain menu items. You can mix and match, and you can add, like a new slingshot, maybe a new princess or some other like mechanic to Zelda. But at the end of the day, you just have like a nice, maybe fun adventure story. You don't really get anything new from each Zelda game. Like I've never played a game and been like, oh wow, that was such a twist. Or, well, okay, except for Ocarina, but we've already pretty much established that was a really fun one. I love the Sheik thing, or Shiker, however you say that name. I love that character. But with Assassin's Creed, there's already a giant like depth to it, because that's the one with the it's basically there's a world and then the outside world, right? Is that the one I'm thinking of, or maybe I'm confusing it entirely? Do you know what I'm talking about at all?
Oh no, I was just gonna say. Sorry, I had a thought here.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, I mean, so Keiji Inafune, the creator of Mega Man, actually said something interesting a while back. He said Japan's done. Japan is at least 10 years behind the West, and if there's a reason why. If you look at, the Zelda games evolved from console gaming, and the limitations that came with it, as where technology kind of caught up with PC gaming. So a lot of the great games that we're getting that are coming from the West, like, your Skyrims and I haven't really played a lot of Assassin's Creed, unfortunately, so I can't chime in too much on that. I know.
You need to get into it.
I know I should. I'm afraid that I'll like it too much, but that I will. I'll pick it up because it seems like exactly the type of game I'd be into. So yeah, when you've already been making and had the infrastructure for making PC games, and just the technology caught up with the consoles we have now can play large games like that. Japan has evolved from the console gaming, and that's why you get the Zelda games I think you get, where everything's stagnant and pretty much the same, and there's just, maybe you go from 2D to 3D, and maybe now Link can finally jump. But, yeah. I mean, like there are a lot of comparisons between Skyrim and Breath of the Wild. Like, oh, which one's better? Which one's better? Skyrim is by far the better game, by far.
Yeah. Now, but you have to say the best Zelda game is Breath of the Wild. I know other people will argue with me, and that's okay, but I think Breath of the Wild was the culmination of everything good that Zelda could have been.
I agree.
I think they did the most in it. They tried the hardest. They accomplished the most in it too. I mean, not even just looking at the story itself. I think they really try to make it more of an experience that actually like involves the player choice. Because if you think about it, like every other Zelda game, it's just like, okay, you go into this dungeon, you get a boomerang, you go over here, you get a bow, and it's like in this, it's like you're collecting it. You're an actual character in the world. You have to like forage for stuff, and just that alone blows it out of the water. I mean, like, I love Ocarina, but I mean, if you're gonna look at the two, I mean, that's like looking at a 2D picture versus like this crazy like painting that someone did on a portrait of the same thing.
Yeah, one of the things I liked about Breath of the Wild that was different from the earlier ones is you can pretty much go anywhere. I mean, if you don't have the right gear, you get fucked up really fast, but that I like that because it did remind me of the original Zelda a little bit more, where you could wander off to Death Mountain, and if you have 3 hearts and, you get hit by the sword from the, whatever the horsey things are. I just called them horsey things. I know they have a name. But you'd just die. Or, if you could get the gear out of order. And Breath of the Wild had that quality. You could get, like, really cool, high-powered weapons, like the flame sword or whatever. And Link to the Past that I'm playing now, and the other Zelda games, you get this sword, then you get that sword, and, it's just...
Well, it has that ability, kind of like throwback to the original Zelda. Like that one, you could just blunder in any dungeon and just be screwed.
Yep.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Know.
Me too.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that also is like why Skyrim is so epically more. Is like the freedom to make a mistake and like and not knowing where to go. Like sometimes I think that games are way too like they rely on the quest giver themselves too much. Like, oh, well, I say if you go over to such and such's farm, you'll be there, versus like, oh, there's somebody in the area, because that allows you to explore more and like encounter other things along the way. And that's what building is. And Zelda doesn't do that. I mean, they have a world and you see it, but it's already there. You don't know why. You don't experience it. You can hit a chicken and get killed, but there's that.
Yeah, Skyrim, man, even like 2 or 3 of the side quests, I think, still are more game than Breath of the Wild. Like,
Okay,
if you join a guild, the
the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There are when you join one of those guilds, those side quests for the guilds, they can take you hours to finish up.
Yep.
And I'm a completionist. So, go ahead, Wes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just going to finish my thought here.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so Breath of the Wild, they have the shrines, and the shrines are cool. But, dude, in Skyrim, there's a cave. And it just appears on the map. There's a cave. You go in the cave, and, like, necromancers. And, like, 35, 40 minutes later, you're deep into this cave, and there's, like, human sacrifice happening. It's crazy. It's very immersive. Very immersive.
Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere. You just discover these things, and it's like... Man, I know, and that's seriously, like, if anybody asks, how are people still playing this game when it came out in, like, what, 2010 or something, 2011? And it's just like, well, that's why, because it's just like, there's probably still people who haven't beaten it, like, because there's so many things to do in that game. It's very, you don't even have to restart the game to explore. It's basically, you just do it forever.
I'm at 87% right now. I want to get to 100. I don't know how. I think I need to do the werewolf guild thing.
I did that.
Yeah. I still haven't figured out how to get into the shadow doors. I don't think.
What?
The one what is life worth living for, or what is the password? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you'll accidentally kill an NPC that's supposed to give you something. Like I did that.
Yeah.
It was great, too. I chopped her head off, and I was like, no, I just accidentally bumped the trigger, and it went, you spin around, and then whoosh, the head falls off, and I'm like, no, I needed you to get that.
Yeah, no. I loved all those. But I'm weird. And again, I'm a completionist when it comes to games, so I will do every side quest you offer me. So that's why games like Breath of the Wild last so long for me, or Skyrim lasts forever for me. Forever. I mean, I'm still playing Skyrim still.
Yeah, I mean, a good game is immersive. Like, the ones that just rush you through it, they're, I don't know, it just feels different. There's games where they try to obviously stretch it out, and there's like a lot of filler crap that just isn't necessary. Then there's games where they're just super fast. Like almost every Sonic game is just like boom, boom, boom. Okay, you're done. And I mean, it has nothing to do with the fact that he runs. I mean, you can make those levels, like do something with those games. But I like it when there's a pacing, and you're allowed to take your time and be in the game and not rush through it. I mean, the fact that they tally how many hours you spend in Skyrim really says a lot. I mean, it's embarrassing, and I haven't played, there's years where I haven't played, but the amount that I've still spent in it is just like hundreds.
Yeah. Well, if you ever look at you ever pull up your hourly stats and WoW, it'll be like, oh my gosh, I lost 2 years of my life. I don't know what happened. I hope they take those years off the end. But anyway, so it's weird how RPG games can just dominate your time, like that. It's amazing. And our buddy Mando Merc, it develops a lot of game content stuff on his channel, and he's right now he's focused on Star Citizen and the like. In fact, I think he's got a show with a co-host that they do some stuff on there too. But and I put his stuff in the chat at some point. So, and I'll promote anybody, you guys. If you just remind me you have a channel, and I'll, especially if I'm subscribed to you, I don't mind promoting everybody. Because like I said at the beginning of the stream, we are all about promoting everybody as part of the fourth wave here. It's really, really important to support everybody else in the community. Independent content creators are incredibly important. Incredibly important.
Yeah, absolutely.
But people like Mando Merc, when they're going to go through and play entirely through the Cyberpunk 2077, and that honestly is going to be amazing. Oh, there goes. You better silence the free speech.
I typoed. Damn it. Oh well.
It's all right. Yeah.
Subscribe to Mando Merc there.
Boomer.
Yeah. Well, my keyboard is way out in front of me, so I have to stretch, and then I've got my mic blocking the keys. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
There you go. Oh, absolutely. You can definitely get a YouTube shout out, my friend. This is Happy Dinosaur. You need to go check out the channel. Lots of cool stuff. Reviews, retro reviews. Actually, there's a new retro review coming up, and I can't remember what movie it was. Where was it?
He's doing. There was a poll on his Twitter. It definitely got it.
I know. Crud. Yeah, you got to go look at Happy Dinosaur. Happy Dinosaur had to change their Twitter, guys. And I don't remember what it is. So if one of you can grab that, that'd be great. But we definitely promote that.
Or Happy. Heck, just drop the name in the chat.
Oh yeah, Happy Dinosaur. Oh gosh. I'm looking for the channel, guys. So wow, this is really bad.
YouTube is not being friendly with that kind of stuff.
Helpful.
Like Bear's channel. It says, "Did you mean Bear Nerf gun?"
No. It's weird, man. You type in what you want, and then they're like, "No, thank you."
Dinosaur 8.
Part 2. Happy Dinosaur Part 2. There we go.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You don't have the right link to your channel on your Twitter, Happy Dinosaur. The link is not complete. It doesn't go to the right place.
Whoa, that's no good.
Hold on. Wait, I see you posted a video link in one of your things. Let me see. Maybe that'll take me to it.
Oh, dog again.
That's all right. I like dogs. They're fun.
I like big dogs. Big dogs are cool.
I like every animal. I like dogs, cats, horses. I'm a fan.
Yeah, horses are nice. Horse people are great too. I have a lot of clients that are horse people.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know anything about horses, they'll tell you everything about horses.
Everything. Okay. Yeah.
I just found Happy Dinosaur's. I just found Happy Dinosaur's channel. Let me post. Let me pop it in the chat here. Too many windows.
I was gonna link it, but then I got distracted. Sorry.
It's all right.
This dog, man.
All right. Well, like I said, anybody here, I really want to promote you. I want to promote Runner Studios too. As things are starting to get going there, I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I mean, I'm willing, and if you guys ever need somebody to show up and say hi on your stream, if I'm available, I'm happy to do it. Wes and I talked for 6.5 hours.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. This is like this guy's ride or die for sure. Telling you, man. That was
came over and chilled with me too.
Yeah. I love. Go ahead.
Oh, and Justin Proper as well. Yeah, we all help each other out. So the same offer comes from me. I'm happy to promote anybody and have you on the stream and chat and go on your channel or come on my channel. It doesn't matter to me. Just let me know.
Yeah, but I always try to pop in and say hi to everybody. I can't wait to get on one of Mirror Sphere Origins streams. So that's a channel you guys should be looking at. That's starting to grow. So that's going to get some traction. It's going to be great. So yeah, say hi to everybody here, guys. They're totally worth it. I promise.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you, RR. I agree.
the 6-hour stream, yeah.
Yeah, mostly it was Wes and Justin. Justin carried the stream hard that night. It was amazing. Oh,
well,
God.
I think we all did, but yeah, Justin, boy, poor, like 4 hours in, Justin's like, I gotta go, guys. And then we went for another 2 hours. He's like, I gotta go, and then he dropped out.
He dropped.
Yeah.
He's well, he's got to work. It's just like a sporking news podcast, man. Scott, some of us don't sleep when we have a job. I'm sure everybody else here can relate. Everybody who's here with us right now is like, yeah, we got to work, and then we watch you crazy idiots yelling at a camera.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, I had so much fun today. And again, we got to ramble. That's the thing. When you start a stream, you have a game plan. We're going to talk about more stuff, but we've already gone over. I like to keep these two a little right around an hour or a little over an hour or whatever. And you guys, I don't want to keep your time any longer than I have to. Thank you, everybody who was here. You guys are the best. If I missed anybody, in fact, if one of you can find Mirrorsphere Origins channel, I think I linked it at the beginning, but if you could find that and get that in there, I would really appreciate it. It looks like Wes is on that, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask AFK Bard. Let's talk a little bit about what your plans are if you're going to decide to go full throttle with your channel. What your deal is? Your willingness to do other people's live streams. Go.
Oh, I really enjoy just chilling with people in their streams. So I think I'm gonna be doing reviews once a week on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific for Stranger Things. I'm rewatching it, and the Gilkman is joining me. We did one video already, and it was just the first episode, but we're going to be doing 2 episodes per stream. So we're going to be the third episode this week.
Oh, cool. Cool. When is that again? Tuesdays
at 2 Pacific.
Cool.
And I have to do Pacific because whenever I try to go by Eastern or anything to help other people out, I just confuse myself. So sorry, guys. My time zones are awful. Like, Culture asked me to do this morning, and I was so certain he was like on the East Coast. And I was like, oh, sure. So he said 11, so that means I have to be ready like around 7 or so. And I'm like, oh, God. So sad.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
sorry, needless to say, I'm not doing anything serious.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, you've had a couple live streams, though. I've been on them. So, or at least one. But yeah, no, if you ever want to talk to somebody who's amazing and is full of support, then AFK Bard is your person. So if you need a guest that will give you an opinion that maybe not everybody's going to have, again, AFK Bard is your pal, is your friend. Thank you very much for being here.
I'm the devil's advocate for you.
Yeah. And now,
I gotta say, just to decide here for the chat, this time zone situation is a real problem for us YouTubers. When we first get started into it, like, I forget, I think it was like PJ or Orville Nation. He's like 7 o'clock, and it was 4 o'clock, or it was like 3:55, and I was like, oh, in 3 hours I can do that. No, 7 o'clock his time, 5 minutes from now. I was like, no, I can't. Struggle is real.
Yeah, it is, and I'm bad with time zone math. We have a friend in the UK who did an incredible web series. You guys should go and see it. It is Rebecca Gold, Ian's program. Spend some time. It's not long. It is totally worth it. It's broken up into little pieces, kind of like Quibi was trying to do because they're dumb. Mm-hmm. But he does a really good job. The story's great. He did it all himself with the help of all of these wonderful actors and other talented people. The soundtrack is available on Spotify. The soundtrack is very good. And this is a independent person, right? So go and check out Rebecca Gold on YouTube. And the Mega Geek is our friend in the UK, and that is a 12-hour time difference for those of us here in the States, or at least on the west side of the States. So, but check that out, guys. It's friggin' awesome. Oh, and Wes, you need to promote your channel, because dude, and not promote your channel, promote your card, promote all of our friends, because we have some friends that we get together late at night and do dumb stuff. So go, Wes, go.
Oh, all right. Well, you can find me at the Wes Moody Webcast at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast, all one word. I just popped it in the chat. Or you can visit me on patreon.com. I have 4 tiers ranging from $1 a month to $10,000 a month. So, yeah, I know. There's only 3 slots available for the $10,000 a month, exclusivity and all that stuff. I call it the Illuminati tax write-off tier. I figure there has to be a drunken millionaire out there with a sense of humor. Patreon.com/WesMoodyWebcast. And then I'm also on Twitter. A little bit of a curveball. My Twitter handle is @WesMoody10. So I talk about pop culture, current events, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, and I vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it is my webcast, and I have great guests like Culture Casino and others on my channel.
Well, that's amazing, Wes, and you did a very good job. And you know, and I always have to throw in a few extra words for our buddy Bear. Bear has one of the best voices on YouTube. Sounds like he was a late night radio host for like 40 years. It's amazing. So if you get a chance to check out
good.
Bear Nerd Fun. Bear.
Let me
Nerd
grab
Fun.
it. Let me grab his channel here.
So I'm pumped. And Runner and everybody else that's here, all of that you stayed this long, I really appreciate it. We usually lose people when we start to shut down, and most of you stuck through. So thank you for all being here. As you know, I am Culture Casino. I am your occasional Sunday host when it comes to pop culture. I'm also someone who puts videos together 3 times a week if I can manage it. Usually they're informative on things that other YouTubers are not quite paying attention to or are a little bit more in depth. I try to keep them brief, but I imagine we're going to start to see my content push towards 15 minutes per video. Other than that, thank you all for being here today. I truly appreciate you. Please support independent creators. If you need help in finding them, I will help you, Wes will help you, and AFK Bard will help you. Have a lovely day. Have a great afternoon, and we will see you again soon.
See ya.
Bye.